Okay, so this is the first video that I'm doing. I wanted to show an example of something called a double dig bed. I'm using a broad fork as my main tool, and I have a little square shovel that I'm using to square the area out with. What you do is you dig down 2 feet 24 inches deep, and you loosen the existing soil, compacted soil. What I have is a combination of like clay and sand, which is kind of a loamy media. Once you've kind of loosened it up, you see what it looks like. When you break it up, it clumps, but then also you can get sort of this fine topsoil with it. So I'm using this to start this little bed. And what I'm going to do with this bed is I'm going to add nutrients to it. I'm going to get it cleared out. It's going to be 2 feet by 2 feet deep by about 4 feet long. And I'm going to put in these tomato plants that I rescued. As you can see, they're in pretty rough shape. And I'll put those in. This one's got, I think, more of a chance than all of them. But I'm going to add that. I'm going to add some rabbit manure that my rabbits produce. I'm going to also add some goat manure from the goats that I have on my farm. And then I'm going to put this soil in. And I'm going to try to add a little bit of a leaf mold media if I can find some. I think I might have a little. If not, I'll add a little bit of horse manure just so I can fix the soil a little bit so it's loose. The idea is you allow for a deeper root system to develop for plants, and that helps them to retain water, but it also helps them to be able to take in more nutrients per plant a lot easier. I'm doing this in a greenhouse that I built, just made of pallets, PVC pipe, and 12 millimeter plastic film that you can get from pretty much any hardware store. I'll give you a little bit of a quick shot from the outside to show you what it looks like. So it's pallets all along the sides. Total footage is about 12 feet wide by, I think, about 20 feet long, maybe 24. I have to look at it. Yeah, it's about 20 feet long. So that's what we're working with. I'll keep posting and showing you some of the projects that I'm working on. Peace. So this is part 2 of the double dig bed. Now going down to 2 feet in depth. The bed is about 2 feet wide, and I'm probably gonna say it's about 5 to 5.5 feet in length. I'll show you how far down we go. I'll put a little ruler down here so we see right at the base, starting at the base 1 inch, and we go up. Looking on the left side of that rule, you'll see that we end up right at about 24, 25 inches. So that's how far we've gone. Next step is to start to bring in some of the amendments. I think what I'm going to do is at the base of this bed, I'm actually going to layer it with about probably 6 inches of horse manure, and we'll add that, and that'll be the beginning of the next video of digging a double dig bed. Peace. Alright, so now we have started with the first layer of soil amendment. I put in about 3 or 4 inches of horse manure on the bottom of the double dig bed. And the reason that I did that was to allow for it to start to decompose over time. It's going to be attracting microbes and some insects, and it continues to aerate the soil and build an even deeper trench over time through biology. And that's what we want. We want to have a really deep area for plant roots to grow. So I'm going to start to fill in this trench. All right, so now I filled it about halfway. Well, I put in about half of what was taken out of the trench before. As you can see, it's almost come up to the level, and that's only about half of what was put in there. So we really aerated the soil a lot. This bed is probably going to sit about a foot and a half off the ground. So I put all of that in. Then I added another about 4 cubic feet of horse manure to help to amend the soil and also to continue to add some nutrients. So now I'm actually going to go into the final phase, which is adding the rest of the soil that we took out back to this trench. And I'm also going to incorporate some plants, which are the tomatoes that I decided I want to try to bring back to life in this bed. Okay, so now I've added some rabbit and some goat manure pellets to this on top of the horse manure, and now I'm actually adding water. You can see the water trickling in. So I'm going to continue to add water until it pretty much saturates about 8 to 10 inches of this bed. So it almost creates a pool, and that's going to activate the composting material that I put in there. And then after that, I'm actually going to start adding the rest of the soil back into this bed. So it'll be a pretty deep bed for these plants to start to take root in. They'll have a lot of soil support, a lot of aerated soil support. They have a lot of nutrients in that soil, and over time those nutrients are going to continue to slowly release, decompose, and you're going to have more microbial happening in this bed, which is going to create a great environment for growing plants, vegetables, trees, whatever. So this is the double dig system that I wanted to share. I've done it before and had a lot of success with it. This is one of the smaller ones. It's a lot of work, but I think it's well worth it. You don't really have to till over and over. You actually just keep adding amendments to the soil, compost, and things like that, and the soil continues to develop over time. So it's a little bit of work up front, but in the long run, it'll be a lot easier to maintain with just regular water schedule and adding more composting materials and topsoil if necessary.